In 1887, Alexander Tyler, a Scottish history professor at the University of Edinburgh, had this to say about the fall of the Athenian Republic some 2,000 years prior. A democracy is always temporary in nature. It simply cannot exist as a permanent form of government. A democracy will continue to exist up until the time that voters discover that they can vote themselves generous gifts from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates who promise the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that every democracy will finally collapse over loose fiscal policy, which is always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations from the beginning of history has been about 200 years. During those 200 years, these nations always progressed through the following sequence: from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to complacency, from complacency to apathy, from apathy to dependence, from dependence back into bondage. If something isn't done soon to reverse the course of this pattern in the United States, our possible obituary might read as follows: the late great Republic of the United States of America, dead at age 250. Born 1776, died 2026. If this is the case, the final 10 years countdown has begun for our demise. Professor Joseph Olson of Hamline University School of Law in St. Paul, Minnesota, pointed out some interesting facts concerning the last presidential election. Number of states 1, Obama 19, Romney 29. Square miles of land 1, Obama 580,000, Romney 2,427,000. Murder rate per 100,000 residents in counties 1, Obama 13.2, Romney 2.1. Professor Olson adds, in aggregate, the map of the territory Romney won was mostly the land owned by the tax-paying citizens of the country. Obama territory mostly encompassed those citizens living in low-income tenements and living off various forms of government welfare. Olson believes the United States is now somewhere between the complacency and apathy phase of Professor Tyler's definition of democracy, with some 40% of the nation's population already having reached the governmental dependency phase. And once the dependency stage takes firm root, political correctness becomes the law of the land. Whatever the overlords of the dictatorship and their complicit propaganda news media deems right for the people is the only mantra allowed to be spoken by the citizens of which they enslave. If Congress grants amnesty and citizenship to 20 million criminal invaders called illegals and they vote, then we can say goodbye to the USA in about 5 to 10 years. If you're in favor of the end of our republic, then don't forward a copy of this link to your friends, family, and co-workers. But if you do want to help spread the message for the U.S. to snap out of our current complacency, apathy, and dependence, we welcome you to do so, since apathy is perhaps the single greatest danger to our freedom.